Okay, are we live? Let's check. Okay, are we live? Let's check. Okay, are we live? Okay, cool. So yeah, hello everyone. In this particular session, we will be talking about real-time intelligence with Fabric, and let's take a look on what we are going to do, right? So first things first, let me just create a whiteboard so that I will be explaining up the whole topic. There we go. Okay, cool. So what we'll be going to do and what we'll be going to take a look on how it's going to look like. So we'll be understanding Fabric actually, right? So this is the main topic for the day, right? And within the Fabric we have got multiple tools and multiple options. So Fabric is used for data engineering, it is used for data science, and it's used for data analyst as well. Okay, so data engineering, it will be majorly falling into ETL and the ELT transformations, right? Okay, the pipelines and all. And the data science, it is majorly for doing the ML, Python work, notebooks, and AI, and data cleaning and all, right? So the last part, that's data analyst, it will be basically dealing up with the Power BI reports. So what my Microsoft has done now is, this was a tool of Microsoft. Actually, Power BI is a tool of Microsoft, and for this particular part, ETL and ELT, they have got another tool which was existing. Okay, the name of the tool is Synapse and Azure Data Factory. You can take a look at the channel, we have created projects on this part as well, right? So these two were the tools which were dedicatedly focusing on the data engineering vertical, right? And these two tools specifically were present on the Azure cloud, right? I hope things are making some sense now. These two tools were majorly be present on the Azure cloud, and within that we had a vertical called as data engineering, right, with Azure. So this exam was called as DP-203, and the ultimate part for this video is this particular exam is now going to be retired. So this exam is going to be retired on 31st March 2025. That's the date for it. Okay. Now with replacement to this particular option, what we had, data engineering with Azure, right, we have our new thing, that is the Fabric, right? So Fabric is another tool of Microsoft in which they have combined all three verticals, from reporting to data engineering, to data science, to AI ML, and every operations which a data centric vertical can do, right? In this specific tutorial, the reason for this particular live is in Fabric we have a lot of options. All right, in Fabric we have a lot of options. We can do the pipeline with the data. We can do the CI/CD pipeline as well, right? And after the CI/CD pipeline, we can do the ETL and ELT as well. We can do data science, data engineering, data analyst, everything. So it's one-stop solution for all the verticals. We can do big data as well. So the thing which I wanted to highlight here is that these were the options which was previously present, right? And now also it's present. In this specific tutorial, I am going to target one particular feature of Fabric, right, which is called as real-time intelligence. Makes sense? Real-time intelligence. Now, what does real-time intelligence means? Real-time intelligence works with streaming data. Okay, so real-time intelligence works with streaming data. Please pay attention. Before going on to the further all about the projects, let's get on to the prerequisites of the whole project. So I hope things are making some sense now, which means we'll be doing a specific tutorial or doing a specific hands-on on this topic, and this topic is only dealing with the streaming data. So let's now understand what do you mean by streaming data, right? So let's get on to this particular aspect, this part. So in order to understand the streaming data, let's take up some of the examples. The best example for the understanding of the streaming data is question number 1. How often you change your phone number? And the question number 2 is that how often you change your t-shirt, maybe. I hope you got the point what I'm trying to say. The thing which I wanted to highlight here is that, okay, fine, we have got two particular questions, and these two questions are specifically targeting on the concept of change. Change meaning is actually time, and phone number and t-shirts are in the context of data. So can I call it like that? The time is having one particular factor in the context of data. That means if time is changing, something is happening to the data as well. Which means if I am not changing my data frequently according to the time, this type of data is called as cold data. On the next question, let's talk about this particular part. In the context of my data, is it going to frequently change according to the time? Yes. I always change my t-shirt daily or day wise, which means these type of data are basically called as hot data, the data which is changing continuously. Make sense? Now, okay, fine, we have got the vertical. That means we have got data, right? And data can be changed onto two aspects, that is hot data and cold data. Makes sense? Now let's take it further ahead. That means data is impacted in the context of time, and these are the two verticals. If the data is changing frequently according to the time, that is hot data, and if not, then is cold data. What specifically I wanted to highlight here is that, okay, fine, let's understand the meaning of hot data and cold data. So let's take up some examples. Examples here for the cold data will be system backup, archives, right? Means these are the data which are historical data, right? And we are not going to change it. History never changes, right? I hope you got the point. Now, again, let's talk in the context of hot data. Okay. Now, in the context of hot data, what can be the examples? Any idea? Just think about anything in the context of hot data which is changing continuously. It can be anything, right? My online and offline status in WhatsApp, my majority of the thing, right? My WhatsApp status, my Snapchat status or story, right? Something around that. Which means the data which is changing continuously, which also indicates forecast, which means weather forecast. That's a daily change of data. Stock price, what say? Best example of hot data, right? Weather forecast, stock price, and many other things. Now, you need to understand onto this particular aspect is in the previous time, okay, whatever the data it is, the data need to be analyzed. Okay, analyzed. Now, how to analyze the data? Makes sense? Can I call it like that? Now we have got two ends, data which is hot and the data which is cold. Can I call it like that? Both hot data and cold data will be having the same factor of analyzation. Like hot data can be analyzed with a method and cold data can also be analyzed with a method. What say? I hope you got the point. What I'm trying to say means if the nature of the data is changed, the analyzing factor is also changed here. That's my point. Make sense? So what is the new thing? So what's the new thing? What's the new analyze method or techniques? The new analyze method or techniques for hot data and specifically for cold data, let's go into that. If I have hot data, if I have cold data, the best analysis and techniques will be SQL, right? Because SQL works on batch or slots. Make sense? Okay, fine. SQL we know how to create tables. Okay, fine. But here in the hot data, it is changing continuously. So I can't use SQL because it works on batch. We don't want batch. We want streaming data. Okay, fine. That means hot data travel in the context of streams. Okay, makes sense. Okay, fine. Now we are getting up onto the point. But how to analyze streams? And please pay attention. Streams travel continuously, same as the water flowing in a river, right? Then how to analyze the stream? We have gotten solution called as KQL. Okay, fine. I have heard about SQL, but now you are saying there is a new thing called as KQL. Totally new, right? Okay, fine. It is new, but it is coming already built in Fabric, which means KQL stands for Kusto Query Language, which is specifically designed for dealing with the streams data. That's the point and that's the logic we are coming to the picture right now. Make sense? Okay, which means the final conclusion is coming onto this level now. We have got two verticals of data. This data travels in the context of streams. This data traveling in the context of batch and slots. So this data can be analyzed for best with KQL because that is designed specifically onto that. And if I'm having archive data, then SQL is the best thing for that. Okay, fine. Now things are making some sense, which means the fabric vertical is whatever we are going to discuss will be in this aspect. Combination of hot data, flow of streams, doing the analysis with KQL, this total product is built in as a feature in Fabric that is we called as real-time intelligence in Fabric. Make sense? Please, it's my request to each and every one of you. This will be making a change from the crowd. Everybody knows SQL, right? I hope you got the point. Everybody knows SQL. SQL is a very simplified structured language. Everybody knows it. Everybody know how to create a table, insert, append, whatever, right? But this is something which will be making you apart from the crowd. That's the thing. Makes sense, because hey, we are in the world of AI, right? Everything will be happening in the context of real time, right? I will be throwing up a prompt to the ChatGPT, real time analysis, and then the best prompt will be given, right? I hope you got the point, right? So this is the feature, is one of the feature in the Fabric. Now let's go on to understand what we are going to do specifically on the real time intelligence particular feature of Fabric. Make sense? So let us talk about this particular vertical. Okay. Sorry, not this one. So the project, real-time intelligence in Fabric. Makes sense? Now let's get started, right? The real-time intelligence in Fabric, we will be doing it in 7 methods basically, which is first is that the prerequisites. Okay. Setting up the prerequisites. Then we will be moving on to get data, import the data. Then we will be understanding the basis of KQL. Then advanced KQL. That's in the context of streaming, analyzing, creating the visualizations and everything, right? Once we are done with this, we can later do our next big thing that is called as creating reports. So real-time dashboards. Okay, so let's get the thing started. So for the first particular prerequisite, we require the Fabric account, and to be very specific, we require a trial Fabric account. The next thing is that we want to get the data. Okay, so get data, that means import. Okay, import the data from our local computer or to OneDrive or to wherever the data it is, from KQL or wherever, right? But where we will be going to store the data? We will be storing on the data that is called as, one second. Yes, that is called as real-time hub. Got it? So real-time hub will be storing up the data, right? Now, once we're done with this, and then we will be moving on to transforming the data. So transforming of the data will be done in the KQL context. Now, where to write the KQL scripts? We are having one particular workflow, or one particular one particular workspace in order to write this thing, right? So let's get the thing started. So then we'll be transforming the data, cleaning the data. In the advanced KQL part, I will be also showing that how you can generate real-time graphs. Right? And on the last particular part, we'll be creating up the visualizations. So dashboards or reports for executives in company, in corporation. Executives. So this is the whole flow for the lab, right? And let me write the steps for the lab. Okay. Now, first thing will be that step number 1. Steps for the lab. Steps of the project maybe. Right. Okay. Set up Eventhouse. Get data in the real-time hub. Transform data with KQL DB. Query streams. Create a real-time dashboard. That's the whole thing. What do you mean by Eventhouse? Right? Eventhouse, this particular part, Eventhouse, it's a workspace. Let me show you some of the diagrams. This is one of the famous diagram of Fabric actually, this part. Right, now I hope things are making some sense. So this is my data source, right? This part, this specifically point, this particular part is my data source. So that's where my data will be storing, right? And this is the Fabric environment. Within the Fabric environment, we are having one thing. What is this? Event stream. What do you mean by event stream? Please pay attention. We are going to deal with the hot data, and hot data changes according to the context of time. So every change is considered as an event, and the rest part is that travels in the form of stream. So event stream. Event stream is one of the end that will be taking the input data. So I'm writing IP. This part, Eventhouse, from here to here, this part. This part, here it will be the analysis will be taking place. That is transformation and analyzing the thing. So this is the concept of KQL. Here we will be writing the KQL scripts. Once we are done with this one, then we can do the visualization or the reporting. That is in the context of Power BI or the activator. So this is the whole flow. So this is the input phase. That's the transformation phase, right? The T phase. And that's the reporting phase. So reporting phase, and this is the output basically. All together, this is called as real-time intelligence, which is one of the concept of the one lake. Later on, we will be taking a look what do we exactly mean by one lake. So I hope the diagram is making some sense here now, right? So in the steps, what we need an event house, we need a real-time hub, and then 2 steps of these streams, and last part is the visualization, which is falling up here. And these 2 parts, let me just change the color, and these 2 parts are coming here, and this is the part which is coming there, and again the coming there. These 2 are the prerequisites, transformation, and lastly the reporting. That's all, right? Makes sense? Okay, now if we all are ready, then let's start the lab. Okay, so what is the first part of the lab that which we will be going to do? The first part of the lab is set up the event house. So let's set up the event house. Right? So event house is a component of Fabric. Okay, and before that, let's complete the prerequisites. So what's the prerequisite for this? Prerequisite is get a Fabric account with trial capacity enabled. So let's get on to the thing started, right? So let me just show you the browser. Let's go on to this one, Fabric. Okay, so that's the Fabric in general, the workspace. So this is how the Fabric is going to look like, right? And you can see the whole particular thing. We have got new workspace, general, and everything is now particularly built in, right? Yeah. So for our new particular thing, we will be creating a new workspace, right? So in this particular option, we are going to click. So this is the part where it's called as new workspace. So let's click on that. Let's give our workspace a name. So real-time intelligence. YT. And just make sure you have enabled the trial version. And I think we are good to go. So click on apply. Okay. Now within this workspace, what's the next thing that which we will be going to do? So we have done this step. Now what's the next step? Set up an event house. So please pay attention. Event house is considered as a new item in the workspace. That's all. Okay, so let's go on to that. Okay, creating a new item. So I will be going here and clicking on the new item. Then I will be typing here event house, which is this one. And here I can write tutorial for the name of the event house, right? There we go. We have got our new item done. Now what's the next step, right? The next step is take a look at the whiteboard again. Once we are done with the setup of the event house, that's the next part. So get data in the event house. So that's the next particular part. Okay. So get data in the real-time hub, right? So for that, we will be creating a real-time hub in the Fabric. So this is my first layer in the Fabric, or first layer in the particular project, that is called as getting the data. So get data will be happening in the context of data source, right? Yeah, data source. Right, now let's take it further ahead, right? So I will be going to this time in this particular aspect. This is a real-time thing. So I will be clicking up there, and now I will be creating a data source because we need to ingest the data, right? So I've clicked on here, and let's wait for some time in order to get it done. Yeah, so don't show it again. Yeah, now what's the next thing? We'll be creating on to this particular vertical, that is connect data source. And now, okay, fine, we have got some sample data as well. So let's use the sample data, bicycle reds. Okay, this is the data. So just copy this data set name. Okay, we need to check the data set, but yeah, that's fine. think that's the dataset name. Okay, but cool. So let's click on this particular part. So click on connect. The source name, I'm going to give it as trial source, right? Tutorial source. And click on next. And here I'm giving the stream name as tutorial event stream. Okay, take a look, everyone. Right, so what we have done till now, take a look, everyone. So which means we have done two things. What we have done, we have grabbed the data, we have ingested onto the event stream. And please pay attention, event stream is nothing but the input. From where we have got this knowledge? From here, see, event stream is the input, right? So that's the diagram. Okay. So till now what we have done, let me just remove all the annotations here. Okay, so that's the data. And now data we have ingested in the event stream. So step number 1 is done and step number 2 is also done. Next, ingesting. Now we will be going on to the event house and then we will be writing our KQL scripts and then the reporting with the Power BI or the real-time dashboards. Right, makes sense, fine, cool, comfortable, right? So let's take it further ahead now. So I will be clicking on finish. Yeah, so that's my tutorial, the event stream, right? So I will be clicking on this one. Let me show you the stream, how it's going to look like. Yep. So here we go. All right, so this is the preview, right? And that's the particular data set that what we have. We have got bike point, street, neighborhood, latitude, longitude, right? We have got these things in the data set. So just search for the data set. If you will be getting this, then it will be good. No, we're not getting this data set. Okay. And then the event stream makes sense. So that's the event stream thing. All right, so now what we'll be doing here is that we'll be editing the event stream and we will be doing our transformation task. So let's do that, right? So click on the event stream and click on the edit button. So click on the edit button. So I will go into this one, manage fields. Okay. Yeah. So now I will be going to manage the fields here. So now in the manage field operation, I will be typing one particular name that is called as tutorial transform. So let's transform our data. And I will be clicking on add all fields because I want to add all the fields and then I will be doing the transformation, right? So let's do that, right? So once I will click on the add all fields, now I will be clicking on to select add field. And second, yeah, I will be clicking on the timestamp field, right? And then I will be changing it to timestamp stamp, and I will click on add. So once timestamp is added to the confirmation list, now the transformation file will display it. Okay, so click on save. Oh, why we have got the error? Because the destination is missing. Make sense? Now let's add the destination. So what will be the destination? The destination will be the event house. Okay. So the destination will be the event house. So I will be clicking on this one, add destination. This is the destination that which I'm going to add. So let's fill the details. So event tutorial destination, select a workspace, event house KQL, yes, and that's the table name which I'm going to type. Okay. So this is how the thing is going to look like. See, it is completing slowly, right? Take the screenshot, right? So let's discuss again. So what we have done, first is the data source always, second ingestion of the data, this part is the transformation, and after the transformation we are going to load the data. So isn't it the same thing, ETL, right? But this ETL has been done in the context of real-time intelligence, that is real-time data, right? And this load is going to happen onto a table, load is going to happen onto some storage, some table, some DB. Please pay attention, that is the specialized DB, KQL DB. And within the DB we are going to store it under the table. So what's the table name? Remember, we have entered it as raw data. That's the catch. So here you can see the table destination and the KQL database. Make sense, everyone? So now 1 second, let me just check the settings, event processing. After, yes, I will click on save, right? So let me just add this here, and now it is fully successfully done, right? So now I will be clicking on the publish button. I want to publish the whole ETL transformation thing now. Cool, yay, we have done this, right? Cool, awesome. Now once we have done this particular thing, now we'll be moving on further. That means we'll be writing up the KQL scripts, and then we can take it further ahead, how the things are going to happen in the context of real-time intelligence, right? So let us wait for some time in order to get it saved. We just want to wait for some time. All right. Yeah, so that's the whole ETL transformation script is now ready, right? Now what is the next thing that which we'll be going to do? We're going to transform the data into the KQL DB. So now let's go into further ahead and let's take a look how this is going to look like, right? Okay. 1 second. Yeah, this one, right? Basically, I was searching this particular part. Okay, but fine. So now let me just do one thing. Let's duplicate the tab here, right? So now if I will be going to the event stream, yeah. So we will be now transforming the data which is here, right? And this is a uh, event house. So event house named as tutorial, and this is the KQL database which I was talking about. So I will be clicking onto this one and I will be going to this particular set that is called as query sets, and this is where I will be writing the KQL scripts. Make sense? And how we are going to do the transformation. Okay, so let me just give you the whole idea of the transformation, right? We will be transforming using two particular folders, bronze, silver, and later we will be making it some policies and verifying the things, right? So let me just help you with this particular concept. So now what happened, that this is the data source, right? We got ingestion, event stream, okay. And once we're done with this event stream, now we are moving on to the event house, okay. And this is the KQL, and this is within this thing we have got the KQL DB, okay. So let me just write it here, Okay, so that's the KQL DB database. Within the KQL database, we are going to have two things. There is a raw data table. Remember the raw data, right? Without transform data. And what we will be going to do, we are going to transform the data for sure. So transformation will be taking place onto this particular concept, this particular layer, right? And please pay attention. Once we are doing this things, these two things are on the same level actually. Okay. And once we are doing the transformation, we will be storing it in particular two folders. What are the two folders? These two are the folders. That is browns, somewhat like this, and that's my silver. I hope you got the point. So this is one layer of the transformation, and that's the second layer of the transformation, this part. So this is somewhat clean data, right? Somewhat clean data, 30% or 40% of the clean data. And this data is majorly type of something cleaned data, the 70% or 80% clean data. And later on, we can move on to the last layer, that's the gold layer. And please pay attention, that's the 22 karat gold. The highest purity, 99.9% purity. So that's the refined, clean, transformed, right? The most purified data, which is in the gold layer. And this gold layer data is later sent on to the data science vertical or data analyst vertical in order to do their things. Data science people will be applying the machine learning, and data analyst persons, we will be creating the Power BI or the XLS reports or the R script or whatever they want to do according to their task. So this is the step that which we will be going to do now, these two. And obviously please pay attention that these two are not the tables, these two are the folders, right? So these two are the folders, and that's how it's going to look like. Okay, now that's the whole concept. So let's get the starting of the thing, right? So let's get started. So I will be going here, and I will be just copying this particular script, pasting here. Now take a look. Yeah, take a look how it's going to look like. See, alter table, raw data, bike point string, street, so and so, string dynamic, right, with folder equal to browns. Make sense? Now I will be writing this particular script. Let's see what happens. Oh, it got run. Okay, cool. Oh my god, we have got a new table. This is a browns table. Okay, cool. Oh my god, it's created. See how fast it works, right? All right, let's create one more. So this was the first browns table. Okay, and the other one will be for the silver. So let's go to this one. Okay, so let's run this one. Yay, we have got the new table. The browns and the silver are ready. Wow, awesome, it's so fast. Now on to the last particular step, we will be doing up the transformation, that is transform the raw data. So let's give it a quick check. Transform one. Let's take a look at the script, everyone. Create or alter function. What's the function name? Transform raw data. Taking up the raw data, which means the table which we have created. Where's the table? Where's the table? Where's the table? Where's the table? Yeah, this part, raw data. All right, and parse the bike point ID with this particular concept and just make it into the concatenation of this one. What we are going to do specifically, if bike to be fields are greater than 0, that means bikes to be filled will be NA, filling out the missing values estimations. There we have got the result. Take a look, everyone. That's the bot. And we can add some visualizations as well, right? But that's the part which I'm going to do later on. Now let's do one more script. Run it. So this is the transformation data policy, which means that only transactional data are false, rest all of the things are true, because we don't want any third-party transaction to be happening into our database, right? Now let's create a new thing and let's analyze it. So this is how KQL works, right? It will be taking the table name and take 10. So that is the first entry, the first 10 entries of the table. See, bike point ID, everything is damn amazing, right? And let me show you one more thing. We have created one more table that is called as transform data. Take a look. Why it's not coming? 1 second. Okay, so let's create a new table, new set, and it should come. What's the problem here? Okay, second. Okay, let's see. Brown is here. I'll refresh the page. It says it creates the policy. Okay. Now it's come. I don't know, there was some issue, but yeah. Right. So now let's query the data streams. Let me show you how you can create the visualizations, right? So that's the first thing. We are now using this table. Let me show you this part, right? Let me get a screenshot. Now in the Browns table, we are using as a raw data table. That's the folder. But in the silver layer, we are using the table name that is called as transformed data. So this is my silver layer, which is somewhat transformed data. So now what's the ideal way? We have in the KQL, we have the Browns layer, right? Okay. And then after this, we have got the silver layer, and within the silver layer, second, okay, this is the table which is for the Browns. Okay. And this is for the silver, which means transformed data. Makes sense? So this is somewhat transformed. So consider 30% or 40%, maybe. Like say there is no ideal percentage for the transformation, right? I'm just making some numbers, right? And this is suppose 70 to 80% of the transformed. So now we'll be creating the visualizations from this part, right? From the transformed data. I hope you got the point. So let's create some visualizations, right? So that's the main thing what I'm doing here. Take a look at the check everyone. See, transform data where these are the conditions, render time chart. So let's run it. I want to run it. Let's see. Oh my god, we have got some beautiful visualizations, which means that at what particular time frame, right? I hope you got the point. Let me just take the screenshot of this graph. So at what particular time frame I have got the data, which means this is the timestamps. Makes sense? This is the timestamp. Okay. That's one of the reason why we have added the timestamp, and these are the regressions, whatever the graph showing, right? And we can also create some multiple visualizations, right? Let's create the gold layer now. So let's just add a new particular table tab, and there we go. Aggregated data, and let's create the visualization. So now if we'll be taking a look at the query of the gold data, and that is the gold layer, right? So we have got 3 layers now. This is my gold layer. This is not looking gold, this is looking gold, right? So this is the gold layer. Okay. Which means that this gold layer, this is the gold layer, which is a table, or the name of the table is this one, aggregated data, and which has scraped from which table? Transformed data table. So transformed data table, which this was the table which was falling into which vertical? Remember, silver data, silver layer. And the transformed data was coming from which particular table? The raw data. And again, remember, this vertical is falling under which particular layer? The gold layer. So gold, silver, oh sorry, sorry, browns, right? Sorry, browns, the bronze, silver, and gold. That's the whole point of the thing, sir. Make sense? So now we'll be coming back to this thing, and voila, we have created a visualization. Right, there we go. And now we are falling on to the last part, that is called is real-time dashboards. So let's create some real-time dashboards here, right? Okay, so just make it into more segment here. Okay, and create a report in Power BI, pin to dashboard. Yeah, this one, pin to dashboard. So I was just naming it a dashboard name, right? Just give it a name, tutorial dashboard, tile name recent, bikes by bike point ID, so let's wait for some time in order to get it load. Wow, we have got an error. Let's solve this error. What's the problem here? Okay, pin to dashboard. Okay, it looks fine. Okay. Refresh it. Never mind, let's create a new dashboard. Showing up an error. View query. It's fine, right? Okay, it's working fine here. 1 second. Into dashboard. Okay. Okay, let me try with the this data. Into dashboard, new dashboard, new. Let's try with the raw data. Okay, it's showing error. I don't know why. Let me add now this unknown error occurred. Okay, is this a problem with the one? No. I'll refresh this little thing. Let's check one more time. Let me create a Power BI report instead of that, right? What's this error? Let me just Google it. I'm just confused. The Kusto Query Language. Interesting. Okay. One database, 32 minutes. Everything looks good. Real time. Dashboard 3. Unknown error. Why it's coming as unknown error? Failed to fetch data source. Okay. Failed to fetch data source. Okay. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's do one thing. I close all this. Okay, so it's coming raw data take. It's coming fine. Let us create a new dashboard. Still coming unknown error. view query. Unknown error record, I'm not sure. Unknown error record. Fabric real time dashboard. Okay. Just error here. Why can't I have a dashboard? Preview it. Copy query. Pin to dashboard. Dashboard. This is something which is weird, to be honest. Paste it. Run it. Title. One. Column chart. Label chart. X label. Y label. Right. Bottom legend. Pin to dashboard. Query successfully pinned to dashboard. There's something which is odd here. New title. New title is also not working right. Yeah. None. Okay. Raw is not getting fetched here. Tutorial is the event hub. Okay, the same. I just added one more data set actually. So let's create new one. Raw. Yay! Visual type, interactions, discard. And then bar chart, multi-stats, apply change. Yep, there we go. Got it. Let's create some more. Visual type map. And I think we are done. Let's do more tiles. Visual type, I don't know. Chart, column chart. Oh my god, makes sense. Stacked column chart. Line chart, table, bar table, multi-stats, pie chart, scatter, funnel, heat map, plotly, type chart, column chart, stack chart. Okay, makes sense. Apply the change. Trust me, guys, it's very smooth. It's very smooth than Power BI, seriously. Neighbor raw data take string double quotes. Oh, sorry, where visuals table apply changes. Looking somewhat clean, right? Yay! We have finally done the Kusto Query Language and we have done the rest of the things, that is real-time intelligence dashboard. That's all from my side. Thank you all. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Bye bye.